All right. No, here something's messed up. It did it again. It did it again. What is going on here? Why is this? This is taking over everything right now. What is going on here? This just completely messed up my camera. Wow. Um, well, maybe we won't be doing anything tonight. I don't know. Now I can't even see if I'm on right now. Wow. Well, I guess this is the point of the show. Is this the point of the show that we don't do anything? I don't know. How does it sound here? Is it still bad? I can't even get myself to come up here on the stream. This is and now my camera was just where I needed to be and it just zoomed out. You can get the whole room. I don't want this. Why does it keep changing my camera? I'm not understanding what it's doing here. I just had a software update and I changed it so I could zoom in a little bit so you don't see everything. And it screwed up again. So, I don't need you to see like my whole street. I just wanted to kind of get a no, whatever. All right, it's on now. I don't get it. I just did the preview, right? I just did the preview. All right, so it sounds good. Everyone's saying it sounded good. I just did a preview, and I was like, okay, great. And I went live, and it blew it up again, and that's why I didn't have no sound. I had to go and change a couple things over here on the sound. It's like, man. So this is the new service I'm using here, and it's not as good as StreamYard. So I look good. Barbara says, "Okay, thank you," and it sounds good. This is very frustrating. It's frustrating because it's not what I want here for a stream. I had everything all squared away, and now we're gonna get this stupid stuff going on here. So, well, let's get to what we're doing here. I'm just gonna set up the chat here and make sure I have everything okay. Let's do that. All right, so we're gonna go here. It's just frustrating that I had everything all set and now it's all changed and I don't like it, and I'm starting to not like this service here, but I can't afford the StreamYard anymore, not for that price. All right, so let's go. Let's show this on the stream. So let's go down over here, and what are we gonna do? Let's make this bigger. So let's see what we got going on. All right, let's see what we got going on. All right, so I got some unboxings here. It's the one I was really waiting for. And let's see what we have. So it looks like we have some envelopes, and we have a little box of stuff here. So let's see what's in here. Let's see what's in the mystery box. All right. So we're going to take a look at my envelopes first. That's what I want to take a look at. I'm finally warming up. I've been in. Oh man, I've been in the hockey rinks all weekend long. 12 hours Friday, 12 hours yesterday. Today was only about 3 or 4 hours. I am cold. I got home. We went out for Chinese food, and I said I need some egg drop soup because I'm freezing. So, all right, we got some envelopes. All righty, let's see what we got going on here. So, as you remember, we got a couple of piles here. As you remember, we got a few things here. All right, I'm going to put this over here. I got 1915. Remember that? I got that in app, but that is over there on the shelf. You should probably be able to see it if I expanded, right? So let me do this. Let me expand so you can see everything. So over there, right there, that's my 1915 for APA. Okay, so that's what I have, and so I got the envelopes for them for 1915. Okay, so I got the American, and then that's probably the national, right? And Cubs. And I also got the Federal. As you know, I got the Federal League. So we got the Whales and the Terriers, and I can't wait to play some of these crazy teams. The Rebels, the Kansas City Packers. That's the first on my list here. Maybe I'll come in a little tighter here so I can get a good view of these. So yeah, let's go back and take a look here. So we have the Chicago Whales, the St. Louis Terriers, Pittsburgh Rebels, Kansas City Packers of the Federal League, the Newark Pepper. Let's go. It's a pepper on a pole match. The Buffalo Blues. And is the audio still bad, Ron? Is the audio still bad? I thought I had it fixed. I thought I had it fixed. Okay, the audio is good. Yeah, my first one, the audio was bad. Okay, the audio was real bad the first time around. I don't know what it was. It's kind of weird that again, my camera's messed up. No matter what I do, it's shooting me back. It's shooting the entire room. I don't need the entire room. I wanted it tight. I had it tight. I hit the button and it went off. I had to reboot my mixer, and don't know what it is, but that's kind of where we are right now. Not happy with the broadcast here, I can tell you that, but we're gonna go and keep doing it. So here's what we got. So let's finish this up here, and we have the Baltimore Terrapins. So yeah, so we get 1915, okay, and American National and the Federal League. So that's one thing that I have to show off. Then I have some of these here, okay? So I want to get some envelopes for my 1975 set. All right, so we got the Jets, the Patriots, Dolphins, Colts. I like how we did the helmet and the logo because I like both. And so this is 75. Oh, Houston had the blue helmets. Interesting. I always liked these old Bengals helmets. They were so boring, but they were great. And check the windows up. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of updates lately. It's been kind of messy. The Chargers and the Broncos. All right, so there's 75. So I get my 75 envelopes. So that's another set of envelopes that I got. And again, I had to I do everything. So that's my 79. This is my APA in 79. So I like to get envelopes for all this kind of stuff here. All right, so what else do I have? Oh, I have more 75. So this is the National League. So St. Louis, and this is the East. I love this division. I just love the NFC East. And then this is the pre-Buccaneers. So there's only 4 teams here. They were awaiting the Buccaneers to arrive. And you got San Francisco, LA, Atlanta, and New Orleans. I think that's it over there. Okay, so that's 75. So I got my football envelopes for 1975. Then this is the new set that I got. It's 1985. Okay, so we got the Pats who went to the Super Bowl. They beat Miami. The Bills were in the red at that point. That's right. The Colts were still in Baltimore. Imagine that. The Colts were still in Baltimore. And what else do we have here? The Jets. I think I kind of like this Jets helmet the best. I wasn't a fan of the Namath one, and I know they went back to something different, but I think I like that one the best. And Steelers, the Browns, again, this is 85. The Bengals finally had their little stripy stripes. Houston with the white helmets. Los Angeles Raiders, they beat the Raiders. I think that was the wild card game. Seattle still had their better helmets. I still like the better helmets. And Denver. And San Diego Superchargers. And then the Chiefs. Remember when the Chiefs used to stink? 6-10. Then you get your Redskins and your Cowboys. And there's that NFC East that I really like. The Lions and your Bucks. I mean, Lions, Packers, Bears, and then Bucks after the Vikings. So Tampa Bay 2-14. But they still had the cool helmets. That's all that really matters. San Francisco, LA, Atlanta, and New Orleans. You know what's weird about New Orleans, right, is I did a little history thing on Pro Football Reference. I went through and I was going through some of the teams and this and that, and I started to look at New Orleans because they were talking about how bad New Orleans was. New Orleans Alrighty, they were so bad. How bad were they? All right, what I want to do real quick, I want to look that up. So let me come back on the stream for a second so you can see the entire street, the entire block. Why it changed it, I don't know. I'm not happy about it. But New Orleans, alrighty. Hang on a second here. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna see if I can share this screen with you. So let me just go to a random season and click on the Saints, and then the franchise encyclopedia. All right, so let's take a look. Let's see if I can share my screen here. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to share this. Okay. So let's see if I can show this on the screen. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that or not. Maybe I can blow that up a little bit. All righty, so how does this look? So the Saints, right? The Saints come marching in 1967. Okay. 3-11 they started. So that's my birthday, 67. So that's when they started. They're 3-11, 4-9, 5-9, 2-11. Okay, they were under 500. In 75, as I showed you here, they were 2-12. Okay. They didn't get to 500 until 1979. They went 60. They went 10 years. They went 12 years before they got to 500. I didn't realize that. I mean, I'm laughing and joking. 2-12 and 4. No, they were terrible. And then after going 500, they went 1-15. Okay, so they started in 67, and it wasn't till 1987. 20 years it took to get to over 500, and they lost the wild card game at 12-3. That's the first time, 1987. Since then, they've been pretty good, over 500, 500. 11-5, 12-5. Well, they had a couple of slumping years here, but that is their history of the Saints from 67 to 87. They were until 87. They were just flat out awful, just flat out awful. So, yeah, I thought that was something else, that they were that bad, and I didn't realize that. Didn't realize that they were that bad. So that is that. But let me put this back on the screen, and let's get some more things here on the table. So let's make that nice and big. And yes, Astros Reefer says they do not have a winning season. So yes, so I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that they were that bad, but they were. All right, so I got one more box here before I get to 1969. So what is this? What is in this box? What crazy thing could Dave possibly come up with? Okay, there's a couple of things, actually. So I did get some team cards. Alrighty. So I wanted to have these for my tabletop. So I got some football team cards here. And again, they're just double-sided cards. So I could put them on the table when I play or have them whatever. He was having a sale. So I was like, let me get some team cards here. So I can use this when I'm playing my 78 replay. I can have these on the cards, and it just makes me feel all nice and fuzzy. So I have 78, then I get 85. I still like that Patriots logo. I really do. So there's the Bears. So I have these for 85, so I can put them on the table. And, uh-oh, I don't have everything. I'm still missing something on my order. So there's 85. I thought I had something really cool to show you guys, but I don't. So I'll have to get a hold of Chris and see if I'm going to get that or not. So here's the rest of it. So yeah, so I did something I'm still missing from him, and I'll have to find out why. Oh boy. So we got the rest of 85. The Raiders. So I got 78 and 85, and then I got 2001. All righty. So there's the greatest show on turf. So I got that. Little glare over here. Let's see if we can clear that up. clear up the glare. There's my 2001. There's more 2001. I bought something else from him, and I will get a hold of him and find out where that is. So I just got some of these things here to have some fun with. Okay. And then, he sent me the Federal League too. I didn't know he did 1915. But we have the Federal League. So we got the whales and the tip tops and the terrapins. So we have all this stuff here. Well, that's a nice card. I like this card here. And they're double-sided. So I do like that card. And then we have our American League. All right, there's our American League. And now we have some National League stuff here. The Pirates, red, interesting. Phillies, the Brooklyn Robins. And we have more National League. Oh, then I got 75 too. I didn't know I got 75. So I can have those on the table as well. I think I messed up my order here. I think I screwed up. San Francisco, Washington. Get those on the table here. 75. Oh, and 76. I guess I got 76 too. There's the Seahawks, Falcons, the Vikings. I like playing a 76 Vikings. Cardinals. I didn't see Tampa Bay in here yet. Where is the Tampa Bay? That's the one I really want. Houston Oilers. The Patriots. There's Tampa Bay. 0-14. You gotta love it. 0-14. So I got some team cards here. They were not that expensive. And the bag's over your head. Yep. So I got some football team cards so I could put on the table when I play my Apper or my Solitaire Pro or my season ticket football. I had something else from him, but it did not come in yet. So I will get a hold of him to find out what is going on with that. But so these are my team cards. So looking forward to having some fun with these on the table. And I got one other thing here. So let me get the one other thing that I want to go over here real quick. And you guys don't have to hang around for all this, but one other thing I want to take a look at here is an unboxing. I have a really, really big package that I'm going to unbox at some point here. Just don't want to do it tonight. I don't want to do it tonight because it's going to be a big one. I really want to give this one some time. So tonight, I'm going to finish up my payoff pitch order. Okay. And so we'll just swap this up here. We'll zoom right in. And what do we have? What do we have here? So we got, that's 1969. Yep, I did. I think I kind of opened this up here a little bit before. I think I did an unboxing. So I had 83 and 69. So these are the 2 seasons I got for payoff pitch. I think that's all I got was 2 seasons. And so we'll take a quick look at what's going on with some of these. And Charles says his payoff pitch should be arriving on Wednesday. Fantastic. All right, so let me zoom out a little bit so we can just kind of look at the cutting here, the cards here. The cutting of the cards. It's fun, but it's also kind of a hassle because everything's everywhere. But so, yeah, there was still something I'm missing here. There's still something I'm missing. I have to go and I'm going to send Chris a message right now and just I was missing something from him. So let me open up some of these and see if I can find my message to Chris. Oh, where is it? I'm going to have to do a quick search. 1 second here. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. All right, I'll send him a message and make sure that he knows that I was missing something here. All right, so let's see what we got going on. Well, as I like to do, is just kind of move the piles out of the way. So I have 6 piles here. And we're going to slide these out of the way. Now, I don't know how many teams there were in. Let's go here. So, baseball reference. So, let's go to my seasons. In 1969, what do we have here? So, this was the Mets and the Orioles in 69. And it looks like there were 24 teams. All right, 24 teams. And so we had 6 and 6 and 6 and 6. So that's what it looked like. 24 teams is RJL. Okay. 6 and 6 and 6 and 6. And this is why I really wanted to play this. There's a couple teams I want to play, and one of them is the Seattle Pilots. You know me, I like my crazy teams. So Seattle is one team that I wanted to play. Does that look all right? It looks kind of weird here. Oh, there you go. So Seattle's the one of the teams I want to play. I know nobody. Okay? Absolutely nobody. I'm going to be honest with you. I know nobody on the Pilots. Okay, maybe if I looked real quick, I would, but I just got it because I think it was kind of cool. And also the Senators. I don't think I've ever played the Senators. And there's a nice cut right off the bat. Blue Moon Odom. Okay. I always thought that was a cool name for a player. So here's this. And here's this. So there's that. So this is the 69 set. I'll try to get through as much of this as I can. So we got so I want to make sure I have the teams in the right division. I think there's no really surprises. So Washington and Seattle are in the American. I like to do the American first. So it looks like if I go to and I rank them by team. So it looks like let me do it like this. All right, so we're gonna go by team. So it's Baltimore, Boston, California. So there's California. And then we get Chicago, Cleveland, the Tigers. So Oakland's way down here. Cleveland is after California and after the White Sox. Seattle is down here after Oakland. Oh, look at that. Nice. Kyle Yastrzemski. Right off the bat. So I get to play Yaz, a 30-year-old Yaz. I get to play him. So he's second right here. Kansas City is somewhere in the middle here. Oh, then Washington. There's the Senators. So I get to play the Senators here as well. So that's going to be kind of neat. All right, so Detroit is after Cleveland. So I'll put that over here. Minnesota is after Kansas City. So I got Detroit, Kansas City, Minnesota. This is Chicago, the American League. So we'll spread these out because you know how the piles tend to fall over, right? And do I have everybody on camera? I think I do. So I'm going to do 4, 4, and 4. So I have New York, which is after Minnesota. Oakland will go here. Atlanta's National League. So I'm going to start my National League pile as I do. All righty. Combined totals I put off to the side. I don't like to use combined totals. You know, that's just what I do. I just don't like to combine totals. So let me maximize my table here while I open the window. So what else do we got now? Combined totals. So now we go back to Cleveland. Again, I don't know a lot of these guys. Lou Camilli, don't really know. And we're back to National League. Now we got Nate Oliver of the Yankees. Jay Johnstone of California. Okay, I have heard of Jay Johnstone. And now for Oakland, Danny Cater. Cleveland, Ken Harrelson. Is that like the Ken Harrelson for Cleveland? I think I know a Ken Harrelson. Baltimore. Okay, so Baltimore's first. So let me move Detroit over here. So we have 4, 4. Right? Well, that's 5. So I need to move Oakland here. Who am I missing for teams? Seattle, Washington. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I do have all 12 teams. Okay, so I have Seattle. So I got a Ray Euler of Seattle. Okay. Try to get everybody up on the screen here if I can. And oh, someone's doing Action PC 1969 so we can play the pilots. Yeah, that's why I got this. Oh, it is Tony C. Al will be going crazy over that one. And Washington. I think it's just kind of cool that I have Seattle Pilots and I have Washington. And what camera am I using? I am using bought a new Panasonic video camera is what I am using. And it didn't do that great of a job at the rink. I had some problems at the rink. I don't know why. I just did. But it works pretty good for this right here. So these are all national. Okay. So I'm still on pile 1. I've just got off on the ground. So there's my combined totals right here. So Minnesota is here. Like I said, I'm surprised at how many names I just don't know. This is California. And then we have Oakland again. Boy, these are all over the place. These cards here are really all over the place. Cleveland, Seattle, Boston. This set is crazy. Oh, Washington. Oh, I got Washington National and Washington American. Uh-oh. So I got the Washington Senators. No, why is this Washington N? 1969. Am I missing something here? Joel Coleman. I'm going to click on the Senators. And so I'm looking for Joe Coleman. Joe Coleman is on the Washington Senators, but it's American. So is that, you think that's a misprint? I think that's a misprint. So I'm going to put him here in the American because I don't think there's a second Washington team, right? Chicago over here, New York, Mike Ketchich. And then we're back to National League. So maybe that's just a little misprint there. Okay, so there's my national over here. So we got combined totals, a couple of guys here. And now we're back to National League. Okay, so that was a misprint. Okay. There's not a second Washington team. Okay, I wasn't sure about that. And then we have Oakland, and then we have these. I love these. I told you I love my cards here. Where's RJL? We got the Shea Stadium for you here, buddy. There we go. I wonder if these had changed. They probably didn't change over the year, right? So if you buy payoff pitch, these are probably pretty much the same unless they made a trade or something, right? Unless they move somebody, unless they move something in the stadium. I should check that out. I have a few seasons of payoff pitch. I think it'd be fun to go and take a look to see if there were any changes at all. And Merv Retman, okay, I know him because I'm playing him in my Baltimore. And there's another Seattle guy I'll be playing, Jim Pagliaroni for Seattle, Joe Satriani for Boston, Kansas City, Hawk Taylor. Is that like Hawk Tua? Another Washington guy here, Zolo. Is that Zoilo? Interesting. And Minnesota, Chicago American, New York American, and now we get some more nationals over here with Houston, Atlanta, St. Louis. Rusty Staub. I'm looking for. I love Rusty Staub. Don't ask me why I love Rusty Staub, but I do. All right, so these are more national combined totals, and now we're back to American. Chicago. Rick Dempsey. I didn't know he was with Minnesota. 20 years old with Minnesota, no wonder why. And now we're back to National League. California. Oh, I screwed that up, didn't I? Yep. California and Cleveland. I always go through these after anyway. 15-inch with the teams and the envelopes. That's for the 81 season. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, and the RJL says they do change according to Joe. Okay, that's kind of good. So, okay, so I'm kind of glad that they will change a little bit for the different seasons. I mean, I imagine it all depends on the season. So maybe if you get more homers or more whatever, that it would change the value, I guess. Yeah, you know. And so what do we have now? We have Baltimore, Seattle. Boy, yeah, this one's usually you can go right down the line in order. So here's another one. Washington and the National. So not a deal breaker by any means, but it is kind of strange that we have some misprints here. Now we get some more national. As long as they don't screw up the New Yorks and the Chicagos. All right, Cisco Carlos, he's got a combined card. Bo Pretty. That's interesting. And now I get St. Louis, Seattle. Boy, this is going to be a little bugger to do this one here, even though I'm trying to go fast. Cleveland Stadium. I like the cards. I always like these cards here. And we got the Ron Juckett card. Okay, so we'll just put that over here. Stewart. Over here. Cleveland, Seattle. So we got a Wayne Comer. I've seen that name before. Don't ask me why, but I've seen that name. Joe Foy. Wow, say that 5 times fast. Joe Foy. Detroit, Minnesota, and Chicago American. Thurman Munson, 22 years old. Thurman Munson. It's funny to see some of the ages of these guys. Well, Joe Torre was 29. Ernie Banks. Yeah. I worked with a guy named Ernie Banks, and I couldn't stand him. He was the biggest jerk. He kind of wrecked the Ernie Banks guy in my mind, just because he was such a jerk. All right, so we get more combined totals. And now we're back to Tony Muser, Boston. No, 20 years old, not for 22. Carlton Fisk was 22 and 69. Toby Harrah. Nice. He was with Washington, huh? Toby Harrah with Washington. California, Cleveland. Fred Talbot with Seattle. Sonny Siebert with Boston. I'm not a Sonny Siebert guy. I don't know who he is, but here he is. Let me tighten that up just a little bit so you can see what's going on here. Kansas City, Jerry Cram. There is Washington National again. So some of these are A's and some of these are not A's. Kind of weird. Chicago, Houston, St. Louis, L.A. Joe Niekro played with a couple of teams, it looks like, as did Al McBean. And now we're back to American League. Baltimore, Atlanta. Wow, these are everywhere. Seattle. And okay, so we have the Washington Park here. Robert F. Kennedy Stadium for the 69 Senators. Interesting. So that's going to be kind of cool to have him on the table. Or I should say that park on the table. All right, there's the first pile. Let's see if I can rip through this a little faster here. And PJ says, Sonny Siebert had, holy cow, look at that. My first 2 no-hitters with Strat, with the 70 and 71 Bo Sox. Interesting. Nice. And Miroslav comes by. Hi, Miroslav. Hopefully you guys are having a good day. I'm still warming up. Holy cow. I was in too many hockey rinks this weekend. I actually started getting sick. I was talking to Juckett last night, and I was losing my voice just talking to him. And I was like, I think I'm going to go to bed. It was like wicked early. Because I had one more game today. Terrible game. The referee just was bad today, calling every stupid thing against each team. And I'm not supposed to talk about the officials, but I did because it was that bad. Sandy Alomar at 26 played for 2 teams. Chuck Brinkman. We got some San Diego here and Minnesota. Yeah, this one's all over the place. Not complaining. I'm just saying that it is. Usually I can really wheel through these because they're in some kind of an order, but these are everywhere. Gus Gill. Gus Gill is going to be on my table. Okay, just so you know, Gus Gill is on the table. Mike Andrews for Boston. Kansas City. Hank Allen for the Washington A team. Jim Price with Detroit. Louis Aparicio. I think he was with Boston in 73, I think. Bobby Mercer. Oh, Bobby Cox was with the Yanks. All righty. Bert Campaneris with the A's. The A's, another team I want to keep an eye on. Houston, Joe Morgan with Houston. That's going to be fun. As much as this is a pain in the neck to separate, it is fun going through all the names. All right, back to here. Okay, now I'm back. California, and then Vida Blue. Yep, I love my A's. Don't ask me why. Maybe it's because of the colors of the Seals. Right, PJ? The Spaceman was 23. Again, another National League card here. That's kind of weird. That is weird. I'll have to say something to Joe. All righty, so let's go to this pile here. We're kind of ripping through them here, you know. Nothing says 69 pilots like Gus Gill. Yeah, I think you'd be correct. Ron Klimkowski. Kind of sounds like Pete Stemkowski, doesn't it? And then we get more national here. I'm going to try to do the national title. I'm going to try to rip through everything real quick here so I can get both. Last time I did 83, and I only got the American League, and then it just got to be a long battle. Minnesota. And then I didn't know they played in Shibe Park. The Phillies are in Shibe Park. Well, we have Shibe Park on our table. That should be kind of different. Dave May in Baltimore. Danny Walton in Seattle. Jerry Moses with Boston. Kansas City's going to get Jim Campanis. And Sam Bowens for Washington American. And Chicago A gets Ken Berry. I'm hoping that these are okay. Because I don't know anybody really. So if they wind up on the New York national team, the New York American team, I'm not going to know. All right, get some more combined totals over here. Seattle, Billy Williams. Is that Billy D. Williams? Is that this guy from Star Wars playing over here on Seattle? I don't know. Maybe. Chuck Cartier. Is that like Mr. Carter? And Washburn. Louis T. I didn't know Louis. Come on. 29 years old, Louis Tiant with Cleveland. Oh, you know that's going to be on the table. When I got Louis Tiant, he's going to be on the table. John O'Donohue, he's going to be a pitcher for Seattle. Dick Drago is with Kansas City, huh? Oh, man, all the stuff you learn. All the stuff you learn. Cisco Carlos for Washington in the National. Chicago over here with Gary Bell. Now we got a couple of more National League guys over here. Well, let's put Blue Moon Odom with Oakland, right? He just fell on my lap, so we'll go with that. And so now we have more National that we'll get to in a minute. We have Frank Britannia, Ron Wilson with a couple of combined cards. And then we have Tiger Stadium, 1969, Tiger Stadium. Jim Booten on the Pilots from Ball for Fame. That's interesting. I did not know that, Gandalf. Another jacket card will go off to the side. California. And we have two Blue Moon Odoms. Oh, is one a hitter card? Oh, because the pitchers hit, right? So they would get would the pitchers get a hitter card? I thought we had pitching cards. Because when I bought the game, we had pitching cards. Oh boy. So maybe he was a hitter too? So, I don't know. What do we do about that? I'm not sure. What do we do about that? So we have a hitting card and a pitcher card. I don't know. I'm not sure. Guys, help me out with that. What do I do about so he was a good hitter, so he gets his own card? Is that what you're telling me? Don Minchner and Sandy Valdespino for Seattle. Jackie Hernandez, Frank Howard over here. Norm Cash is going to check in with us. Jim Little. And now we have some more National League guys over here. I'm going to put that in my National League pile. Lots of Nationals over here. Oh, Manny Mota. Ted Simmons. We'll get back to you in a minute, Ted. Yeah, these are all over the place. Catfish Hunter, he got racked. Remember when I did that experiment the other night? Catfish Hunter got racked on my tabletop. All right, so Detroit's got to go here. So I screwed up Noam Cash. Steve Barber with Seattle. Lee Stange. Mo Drabowski. Denny McLean. Jack Ham. Oh, look at that. We got an in-play single. I've never seen that before. I've never seen that. Now I have. All right, so these are more national guys. All righty. We're back to California with Tom Bradley and more national guys. Back to Justin Timberlake for Seattle. And then we have Atlanta Stadium, Fulton County for the Braves. Okay. So we're making our way through this here. So we got Lloyd Allen. And now we got Dick Ellsworth, Pete Richard, Dooley Womack. Oh, man, I got to get Dooley Womack on the channel here for Seattle. Dennis Higgins. It's Higgins, sir. Jim Catt with Minnesota. He was 31. Wilbur Wood was Chicago. I remember Wilbur Wood. I think I got a Wilbur Wood baseball card somewhere. All right, so we get some National League now. Ooh, Bob Gibson. I just saw Bob Gibson. That's going to be a fun one. Gary Rogenberg has combined cards, in case you were wondering. Detroit, and then we got Metropolitan Stadium for the Twins. I've been seeing a lot of Vikings highlights lately. I don't know why, but I've seen a lot of Minnesota Vikings from 69. Probably because I'm looking at 69 and, aren't the drones listening into us? So Sal Bando, another favorite of mine. Jim Pagliarone. Paul Blair over here. Steve Hovley. George the Boomer with the Red Sox. Fiore, Kansas City. Mike Epstein over here with Washington. Tom Tresh with Detroit. Minnesota gets this guy. Sandy Alomar. Right? 26. We're going to go to Chicago. And New York's going to get Frank Tepedino. And then we're going to have a bunch of National League guys here. Right? Combined totals will come over here. We're back to California and then Minnesota, Chicago National League, back to Oakland and then Cleveland, and John Gellner with Seattle, Bill Landis, Boston, not sure, the Cisco Kid, Mike Kilkenny, Horland, Bill Burback. All right, this Phil Negro. We'll get back to you, Phil. All right, and that's all National Leagues right there. So the National League will go faster. All right, so now we have New York National, Philadelphia National, combined totals over here. Back to California, Ricky Clark, Frank Kreutzer. Is that Kreutzer, something like that? And back to some National League here. Dodger Stadium. I do like those cards. I keep saying that. But every time it comes up, I got to look at it. Ted Kubiak was in Oakland. Vern Fuller was in Cleveland. Hendricks in Baltimore. John Kennedy will go to Seattle. Boston gets Schofield. Juan Rios over here. Ed Stroud in the American League Washington team. Detroit again. And we got a couple of guys here. Now we go back to the National League. Combined totals. Still a couple of National Leagues here. There we go. Now we got Cleveland and Bob Chance. Garvey, we'll go back to National here. California gets Clyde. Oakland gets Ed Sprague. Baltimore with a Jim Harden. Dick Bainey in Seattle. Wally Bunker. Camilo Pascual. This Patterson guy over here. Carlos. Oh, I already had a Carlos, didn't I? I wonder if the pitchers have hitting cards in 69. That's kind of weird. I don't know if they all do, but we've seen a few already. So we got a couple more combined totals that I don't really use. Chicago National. Okay, now we're back to Detroit. Gary Rogenberg. And then, back to back. Nice. Comiskey Park and Candlestick Park. And PJet says all these names come back. Yes, Sportsman Z, buddy. Hey, guys, Sportsman Z is in the house. And I just want to say, Sportsman Z, hope you're doing well. I saw you doing videos. I'm watching them all. Usually you put those out late Sunday night, usually or Monday night. And I'll go to bed and I'll put them on and I'll listen to your stuff late at night. So, so I hope you're doing well, buddy. I do. I glad you're here, and we're going through some 69 here. This is well before my time. Okay, I mean, I was born, but I know nothing about 69 baseball. So I'm having some fun here tonight with this stuff here. So it's kind of reminiscing. Some of the names I know, a lot of them I don't. So, all right. So we got to scroll up. We explained why Odom got a hitter card. Okay, so let me scroll up. Odom hit 266 with 5 homers, so he gets a custom card. You guess. All right, so that's what I need. I need to find out that. Maybe I'll ask Joe. Like, what do I do? Is that when he's pitching too, or is it only when he kind of hits? I'm not sure. So, all right, Sportsman Z. He says he's feeling good. Good. That's what we want to hear. I'm so happy for you. I really am, Sportsman Z. You're an important part of this community. Don't forget that. I got a Dick Simpson over here in Seattle, a Joe Askew over here. So I'm glad you're doing well. Kansas City, Frederico, Mickey Stanley with Detroit. Rod Carew, 24 years old, Rod Carew. I forgot some of these guys who grew up watching were in their 30s. So we have a Pavlich guy. Oh, I put Rod Carew in the wrong area. There we go. I always go through these at the end anyway. Tom Tresh. Anybody familiar with Tom Tresh of the Yankees? I guess I'm not. Let's see. Now we got some more National League here. So let's move this off to the side. So, yeah, I'm going to have to find out about that. Because, again, this is before my time. This is before I knew much about baseball. So I could be I don't want to mess anything up. I will let you guys in on a little secret. I did pick up a couple more Strat baseball seasons during the sale. Because I can't let Sportsman Z get ahead of me in Strat cards. And so I did. I picked up. I get 84 because I want to do that project with everybody. There's a lot of people doing a project. I think Tebow and Kevin and a few guys are doing that 1984 community project where you just kind of play a game and then put up the stats. I want to try that. I want to be part of a community project. I really do. And so I picked up 84 with Strat so I could use it. Mike Nagy with Boston, Dave Moorhead. So there's another national. So half of these are national, half of these American. And I'll go through it at the end and we'll see if we can find out what's going on with that. All right, so these are all national. Combined totals. Dick Bates with the Seattle Pilots. And some more national. Oh, no, Denny O'Toole, Chicago. And Bill Short, all kidding aside, probably not the same guy. I had a Bill Short who was my Little League coach, my very, very first Little League team in the mid-'70s. His name was Bill Short, and he was probably like 6'4". And no joke, his name is Bill Short. As we get Oakland ballpark here, Oakland Alameda. I didn't know they still played in Oakland Alameda at that point, but I guess they did. You use his custom hitter card instead of the generic 1 to 8 because his stats are outside their range. Okay, so that is something I would do on every at-bat I would take. So I would have to go through George Brunet. Is it Brunet or Brunet? And we get Romo, Tony Romo, Wickersham, Earl Wilson, Minnesota here, Fritz Peterson. Now we got some national over here. So I guess I would have to go through the team to figure out which cards had that, correct? So I would go through. I'll have to ask Joe. So if the pitcher has a hitting card, and I think someone over here in Chicago did too, then I would have to use that. So we got Juan Bizarro, Charlie Waters, the safety of the Cowboys. Oh, cool, Crosley Field. So they weren't in Riverfront at this point. They were in Crosley Field. Interesting. Interesting. Jim Fregosi. Fregosi, Dave. I know that name. Gino with the A's. Guy for Cleveland here. We got another Seattle guy. That should be fun. Rico. Didn't I already have Rico? No, I didn't. I had Canigliaro, I think I had, right? That's who I think I had for that. All right, we got a Dare. We have a Ed Brinkman for Washington. Detroit here, Minnesota, Chicago, New York, and then back to the National League. Right? Ooh, Johnny Bench. I saw Johnny Bench. And then we have Oakland. More national. I got Jim Nash. Wasn't Nash? Isn't he a hockey player? Jim Nash. Gary Bell for Seattle. Ken Brett with Boston. Kansas City. Any of the football games turn out good at the 4 o'clock? Every game I looked up, it was a 14-point game. I was going to watch the football games. I'm like, well, why bother if they're all 14-point games, So, all right, so we're more than halfway through the stack. And then the National League should go a lot faster. Bo Pretty and Fred Wentz over here. John comes by. John, what's going on out there in the Cowboy State? Crowley Field? Or was it Crosley Field? I got Crosley Field. Oh, then we have the Astrodome. Can't mess that one up, right? Can't mess up the Astrodome. California, Oakland, Cleveland, Baltimore, Greg Goosen. It's Crosley. Okay, spell checker. Right? Buck Martinez is 21 years old. Lee May, 35. Dick Trasuski. Carlos May. We have a lot of Mays, don't we? Kenny with New York. And now we get a couple of guys here for the National League. A lot of guys here for the National League in this pile. Here we go. We back to the American yet? We have this guy here. Okay, Bernie. Oh, Bernie Cabo, Cincinnati, huh? I did not know that. Did not know Bernie Cabo was in Cincinnati. Jim Palmer, 24 years old and 69, huh? That's probably, is he in his prime? Jim Booten with Seattle? Is that, this guy here, I got to say this right here. I have one baseball card somewhere in my collection with a Washington Senator, and it's Casey Cox. I have no idea how good he is. I have no idea how bad he is. I don't know, really. I don't know anything about Casey Cox except that I think I still have it. When I was a kid, I had one baseball card. I think I got it off a friend of mine or something like that. And I have Casey Cox of the Washington Senators. That's the only thing that I am aware of when it comes to the Washington Senators, as far as players go. And that's because I have his card. So now I have him on my table. So I need to get Casey Cox going just for my 10-year-old self. Oh, it would be 12-year-old self. I think that's when I got it when I was 12. All right, some more Nationals, combined totals. Dick Raditz. I think he was in Boston because he was on the radio here for many years in Boston, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, Dick Raditz was on one of the sports channels here, I'm pretty sure. And then we got some more over here. Oh, we got a back-to-back. We have Angel Stadium of Anaheim and San Diego Stadium. Interesting. So that is that. Famous Casey Stengel quote. When asked about 20-year-old Greg Goose, in 10 years, he has a chance to be 30. And that spells it all, doesn't it? Cleveland, Baltimore. Jim Gosker for Seattle Pilots. I got a George Thomas. Jim Rooker. Dick Smith over here for Washington. Minnesota. Chicago. Ron Woods with New York. I take it the Yankees weren't the dynasty in 69. I mean, they just were like so many years, they just took all the best players. All right, more national. Then we have some combined totals. Bill McNulty over here for Washington. Another combined total. Then we have Joe Nossick for Oakland. And we got some more Nationals. And we have Ken Tatum, California. Cleveland gets Stan Williams. Baltimore, Al, whatever his name is, Ray Culp for Boston. Jones, Darryl Knowles for Washington. Minnesota, Chicago, National over here. Oh, look at that. Mudcat Grant for Montreal. Come on. Come on. 11 games. Mudcat Grant. That's awesome. You got to love Mudcat Grant. Oh, there we go. Who knows this guy? Yep. Yep, there you go. Some good names here in the National League that we'll get to as we want to round out the American League here. We're almost done with that. Oh, there we go. Yankee Stadium, 69. Read them and weep. That's what we got. Read them and weep. And PJet says the mid to late 60s were dark times. Oh, that's too bad. All right. Yeah, it's a shame. John asked me, do you prefer a payoff pitch or strat for cards and dice? Let's see. I like. Let me hide that. I like them both. I do. I like APA basic and I like strat basic because baseball, I want baseball to be easy. So those are two that I really, really like. Payoff pitch, what I like about payoff pitch is the same reason I like hockey bones. They have everyone. So if I want to do an as played, payoff pitch is the way to go. And I like the mechanics of payoff pitch. I do. It gets a little complex at times, but I've worked out a system which I really enjoy. So I like them all. I do. I don't have a favorite. Both games is good. Yeah, both games are good. Yep, you are correct. And the team cards here. If you're talking about these here, yeah, I love this. I just like the color of the cards here. And you have that on the table when you play. So I do like that. So there's so much to like about payoff pitch. I find that the seasons are a lot less expensive than other games. I find that the cards themselves are some of the best quality cards. They're a perfect size. They fit on the table. I really like them. And so there's a lot to like about, Rick Monday, the flag saver. There's a lot to like about payoff pitch. I'll Skip Lockwood. I've heard of Skip Lockwood. So we'll play him. Sparky Lyles on the Red Sox. Come on, really? Sparky Lyles on the Red Sox. That's hilarious. So I like them all. I do. I like them all. APA, like I say, sometimes I'm in the mood for a nice, simple game of APA. Sometimes I'm in the mood for a nice, simple game of Strat Basic. And then sometimes I want to get a little bit more involved, and I'll pull out the payoff pitch because it is a little bit more involved. So the long answer is I like them all. I do. Yeah, so we get back to the National over here. Combined totals. Oh, look at that pitcher, huh? Look at that guy. 2 games. He's not going to get many people out. He pitched one third of an inning. As good old Fenway. There it is right there. So, yep. Oh, I just caught that sneeze. So left-handed batters 1-50, right-handed batters off the wall. Yep, that's about right. Ooh, Busch Stadium back-to-back. I think that was on grass, right? Busch Stadium was always grass, wasn't it? Other great trades of the Sox and Yankees, yeah. Oh, someone asked me about PDF version on 300 milligrams paper looks good too. I usually do when I print my cards. I go. Someone asked a question, I missed it. So the chat was coming up quicker as I'm trying to rip through these teams here. If I missed it, I'm sorry. Sandy Alomar over here with California. Reggie, that's why. There we go. 23 years old. Reggie Jackson, one of my favorite players. And Brooks Robinson is 32. Wow, holy cow, he's 32. Another Seattle guy, Reggie Smith in Boston. Kansas City, Bernie Allen, or over here. Dick McAuliffe, Rick. And Chicago guy over here. And now we got some Nationals. Alrighty. So we're flying through these now. Combined totals. And now we got another Cleveland. All right, now is these all nationals? Yeah, I think so. All right, so I'm down to my last couple of piles here. I got more national. Raleigh Fingers with Oakland. All right. That's going to be another fun one to play. Diego Segui, right? Diego Segui? Is that what it is? Dick Ellsworth with Boston. Al Fitzmaurice. Got Dobson. I didn't realize that Tommy John was with Chicago in the American League. 26 years old. Tommy John going to Chicago. Al Downing was over here. More nationals. National. Got a couple of combined totals. And now we get Reggie Cleveland for St. Louis. So we'll see you in a minute. And now Wally Wolf. How about that? Wally Wolf with California. That's great. All right, look at that. So the Montreal Expos in Jarry Park Stadium. So we're going to be playing some Jarry Park. So, look at the left-handed batters. 1-92. Was that a short yard out and right or what? 1-92 is a wheelhouse. Woo-hoo! This is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to my time off at Christmas so I can play some of these teams in these stadiums. Jim J.J. French over here. All right. We're flying through these now. Dun, 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 dun. Terry Crowley, Baltimore. And now Wayne Redmond over here. We got a California and Oakland. And we're back to Baltimore. Bucky Brandon in Seattle, Oregon. What I was going to do is I was going to have Seattle. That's Washington. I was going to have Seattle play. Oh, Dick Raddatz in Detroit. I was going to have Seattle play everybody and just see how they would do. I don't know what I would use for lineups. Maybe I just used a standard lineup, but I thought it'd be fun just to have them play everybody. All right, so we got some combined totals. Bill Edgerton for Seattle. We got a Minnesota guy here. We got more National League. Then we have County Stadium. I thought County Stadium was Milwaukee. Interesting. All right, so we got another California guy here. Oakland, Cleveland, Tommy Hopper for Seattle, Fred Stanley. Look at Ken. Is that Ken the Hawk Harrelson? I think it might be. Kansas City. We got Detroit, Minnesota, Chicago, New York, and nationally. Ooh, I got a Lou Brock. I got a 30-year-old Lou Brock. I remember growing up as a kid seeing like all the stats. We had this little wheel, and I don't know where the heck I got it, but it was we got this wheel, and you spun it, and the wheel like opened up stats, and you could read all the stats, and like Lou Brock was on there for the most stolen bases and things like that. It was kind of cool. It was kind of cool, like reading that thing. Pedro Borbon, Marty Patton. I've heard that name before. Jim Longborg with the Red Sox at 27 years old. Dave Baldwin. Murphy. All right, national. I got some combined totals over here. Now we have Fred Bean, Baltimore. Oh, look at this. Okay, this is kind of neat. So we have the Seattle Stadium. 6 stadium. Like, I thought it was like SIX, but it's 6, as in like you're sick as a dog. And look at that. Wheelhouse, 1-91 and 1-78. That is just nuts. That is nuts. That's so awesome. I think we're going to have some hits over there. I think so. All right, this is my last pile, I believe. Jarry Park did have a swimming pool. I think you are correct about that. All right, Brant Alea, Gates Brown. It's getting kind of messy because the piles are getting high. Remember, payoff pitch cards everyone. They card everyone, and so you're going to get a lot of cards here. You get. I think payoff pitch is the most bang for the buck. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but I think payoff pitch is the biggest bang for the buck. You get every player The cards are fantastic. Doug Camille. Rudy May. All right. Oh, he's a pitcher. I didn't realize Rudy May was a pitcher. Fred Talbot. We got a Jim Spencer with California. Dick Green going to Oakland. And we got a Cleveland. Boog Powell. Oh, wait, Cleveland's over here. Boog Powell. How can you not like Boog Powell? Rich Rollins. Seattle's got some interesting names here. Kansas City. You got a Tim Cullen for Washington. Detroit. Chicago. Joe Pepitone. And then we have some National Leagues here. Okay. All right, so this is my last pile for American Leagues, and we'll put them away. And then we'll get on to National League here. And National League should go quicker because I don't have to deal with the American or the combined total cards, right? All righty. So we got Dick Simpson over here. Tony La Russa, 25 years old. And, well, not very good. So, yeah. It's only those 25 years old. I take it he wasn't a very good hitter, right? Andy Messersmith, I know that name. Jim Rowland, Mike Cuellar. I think it was Cuellar, right? Is it Cuellar? Gary Rogenberg. Come on. Look at these names of Seattle. This is so awesome. Gary Rogenberg. Gary Wagner. I got the boss man for Washington. Detroit. Chicago. Lindy McDaniel coming over here. And now I get some National. Mudcat Grant. Combined card. All righty, so what do we got now? Oh, we got a couple back-to-backs here. We got Memorial Stadium for Baltimore. All right. And, oh, I didn't know they played in Forbes Field. Oh, look at that. The wheelhouse, 1-22 and 1-11. This place, it must be enormous, right? Is Forbes Field enormous or what? There's no, you go to the ballpark check, you're not getting any wheelhouse out of that. Merritt Renew. Love that team. Billy Canigliaro. Alcatraz. I got Dick Billings over here for Washington. I got a Minnesota. I got a this. I got a this. I got some National League guys over here. And I got some combined totals that I'll put off to the side. All right, down to my last half a pile here. And Minnesota. I got Eddie Fisher. Wasn't he a chess player, Eddie Fisher? And Cleveland. And Dick Hall for Baltimore. Jack Acker for Seattle. I'm loving these names. Jim, he goes the extra mile, is what he does. And, well, these guys are National. Yep, okay, so this will finish up the piles here. Combined totals, combined totals. I got a Joe Santiago. Then we have Municipal Stadium in Kansas City. Again, look at that. Right-handed batters, 1-10 wheelhouse. So what's going on with that? There must be nothing out there, right? You must be hitting to a cornfield. That's what I'm thinking. Tommy Davis. That's the first actual name that I've seen for Seattle. Lou Piniella was with Kansas City at 26. I did not know that. Del Unser. I got a Freeman, Minnesota, Chicago, Ellis. And now we got some Nationals. And is that going to be it for the American? We're getting pretty close. We got a couple combined totals. Now we got a handful more here for the American. We got a Chuck Dobson here. And we got Cleveland, Mike Marshall, Jarvis, Tom Bergmeyer, I know. Mickey Lolich, I know. All right, these piles are getting kind of nasty, so we're going to be wrapping up the American League here. More combined totals. All right, so we have the last couple here. We have Boston. And then the last card is the Wrigley Field for Chicago. All righty, so that is that. Now, what I'm going to do is, to save time, I'm going to go through the cards for accuracy later, because what I normally do, Alrighty, so what I normally do is I will go through all these cards for accuracy, but to save some time, I will just put these over here and I'll go through these after, just so I can get through the National League, because last time I didn't. So I can do that off air, if you will. Historically, the White Sox had to play 11 home games at County Stadium and average 18,000 attendance, is what Gandalf is writing. Boy, not a lot of Baltimore guys compared to some of these other teams. Yeah, that's not a lot of Baltimore compared to, holy crap, like these guys. Look at the A's compared to, maybe I missed a few guys. I don't know. I mean, that's Seattle. Seattle's got a ton of guys. Maybe they just went through a lot of guys. I know some of those older teams, the crappy teams, tended to go through guys in a hurry. So when I go through, I'll see if I made any mistakes. But look at that. Look how thick Seattle is. That is nuts. That is nuts. So look at the White Sox. So they're over here. So we'll have the National League coming up next. Oh, and I got a hold of Chris. He got right back to me and says, yeah, he's still got my other surprise that I can't wait to unbox and show you guys. That's going to be a lot of fun, that other thing I got. I'm doing a new segment here, and I can share this with you guys. I'm doing a new segment on the channel, or I'm bringing back, I should say, Dave's Classic Rewind. If you guys remember that from back in the day. So I'm bringing back Dave's Classic Rewind, where I'm going to go and play just any kind of bizarre game with bizarre teams from the past. But I think what I'm going to try to do is this time is I'm going to try to focus in on a specific game, like pick a game from the past and play that game here on the channel as part of nothing else except the Dave's Classic Rewind. So go back to 1969 and just pick a couple of teams and just play, not have to worry about any stats or anything like that. Just kind of play and have some fun. So, oh boy, this is Chicago. What did I do? Oh, okay. Check this out. Yep, Gandalf's correct. Okay. So I have two for the White Sox. I have County Stadium and Comiskey Park. Oh, that's why. Okay. Good to know. So I have two for the White Sox. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad I saw that. I'm glad you guys pointed that out. Thank you so much. That's why I do this, is so I can learn myself what's going on here. So here is Minnesota. And then we have Tiger Stadium for Detroit. All City, Seattle playing setting since 69. Well, we're going to play some Seattle. I'd like to play them against every team just for fun, just to see how it goes. This is Cleveland. Here we go. Okay. Oh, and then I got Washington too. Where is Washington? There it is. All right, so here's Cleveland. And now this is weird with Washington. Let me zoom in on this. So as you see that we have A N A N A A A N N. So this is kind of weird that we have A's and N's over here. Not sure why. Again, it's not a game changer. As long as I can get them on the right team and it says Washington and there's only one Washington team, I'm not too concerned about it. But it is kind of strange that we get A's and N's. It's something I don't know if he wants to fix or if it doesn't matter. But everybody here is on Washington, correct? So Washington is done, so I don't have to worry about that. And so here's Washington over here. So Washington is done. So what I can do is I'll take my little elastic here, right? So I'll take my elastic and I will wrap up the Washington Senators. So they are done and they will go into the done pile. Oh, somebody want to see the Juckert card? Yeah, look at this thing. Look at that thing. I mean, how do you pitch around that? I mean, come on. Just use your imagination, right? And Barbara has no faith in her team. What was it? Oh, is it the Rangers again? Yeah, that's all right. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. All right, so let's work on the National. This should be a little quicker, I hope. A little quicker here. So we got Atlanta. So let me check my standings here. Let's go to baseball and go to the National League this time. So we have 12 teams. If we put them in order, we have Atlanta, Chicago, the Reds, and Houston. And then the last four will be Pittsburgh, San Diego. Pittsburgh, San Diego. New York will come here. So that's how that's going to go. Montreal is number 7. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Eight is the Mets. Los Angeles is 6. St. Louis is 13. Oh, 12. Okay, I got to subtract some numbers here. So St. Louis, Houston will be 4. Cincinnati is 3. Houston is 4. Montreal is 6. So we got Atlanta, Chicago, Cincinnati, Houston, L.A., Montreal, the Mets, and the Phillies. Pittsburgh, San Diego, San Francisco, St. Louis. So I think that's what we got. All right, so I think I have everybody now. You like seeing the bad and the weird cards? Yes, I do too. Now, a lot of these guys I'm not familiar with, so let me kind of move these up. All right, so John Maybe I've heard of. Nolan Ryan. Oh, good. Wow, Nolan Ryan played. Holy cow. I think I did a Nolan Ryan rabbit hole too. So Nolan Ryan, let me come back here a little bit. So Nolan Ryan is with the Mets in 69. So let me go to Nolan Ryan. He was 22. So Nolan Ryan started in 66 with the Mets. So in 69, he was still here with the Mets. He went to 71. Then he went to California. Then he went to Houston. Then he went to Texas. And he ended up with Texas in 1993. Imagine that. He almost pitched 30 years. He was 21. No, he was 19 when he started. He only played one game in 66. But imagine that. That is just nuts. I mean, that guy was awesome. He played for so long. It was just so much fun. And I can't believe how long he played. So that is that. Yeah. So let me come off the screen again. We'll go back here. And so now we have San Diego, and we have the Mets right here. Don Mason with San Francisco. So finally we have San Francisco on the board. All right. Let me move these up a little bit. This pile will get messy as well. So we have Montreal, Ty Klein. We have L.A., which is right here. Chicago. Finally, have somebody for the Cubs. Mike Shannon with St. Louis. Bob Watson. Yeah, I've heard of Bob Watson with Houston. Noriega. Wasn't he like the guy who ran Cuba or something like that? Pittsburgh. Gene Garber. Clay Carroll, Cincinnati. I should know a lot of the Cincinnati guys because they were always in the title game. Lersch. We have Mike Corkins. Joe Gibbon was San Francisco. And I got my San Francisco hat on, so I need to play some San Francisco. Cubs over here. Montreal. Gary Wasilewski. Atlanta. Houston. Jerry Justat with Montreal. Cincinnati. Montreal again. Pittsburgh. Down over here. San Diego with Tommy Dean. Cookie Rojas. I know Cookie Rojas. I think my old pastor at the church said he used to deliver newspapers to Cookie Rojas when he was in Kansas City. I think that's a story he told me. Boswell over here. Gary Sutherland. San Francisco has Ron Hunt. Sizemore is with L.A. at this point. Bob Johnson is with St. Louis. Tito Francona with Atlanta. We got a guy from Houston here. We got another Expo. Larry Maxey. That's an interesting name. Bobby Darwin. We got Merritt over here. We got James. You got Joe Negro with San Diego. Bobby Bolin. If any of these names you're familiar with, jump out, let me know, because I'm not that familiar with 1969 baseball, and I'm not really familiar with National League in particular because we never saw them. Blas with Pittsburgh, Gentry, New York, San Diego, Chicago. Finally, another Cub. We got another guy in Montreal here. Steve Carlton is 25 years old for St. Louis. Interesting. I got this Wade Blasingame. That's a great name for baseball. Bill Buckner is 20 years old for the Dodgers. How about that? And Tony's getting the 76 payoff pitch for Christmas. Looking forward to taking a dive. I think you'll like it. I'm a casual baseball guy, and I love it. But I do hear that the hardcore baseball guys, they also love it. And I think it gets a little deeper. So Enzo the Picker says, what do I find easier, Apper or Stratton basic version? Boy, that's a good question. Did I screw something up here? I did. That's a good question. There, oh boy, you got me stumped on that one, because I could probably give some pretty good reasons for playing either or. I play them both, so just it depends what mood I'm in. Sometimes I just like to look at the charts and get it done with. In other times, there's Chris Short for Philadelphia. In other times, I like Strat because I can get it right off the cards. So there's no real winner as far as I'm concerned. It all depends on what you're in the mood for. Steve Garvey, 21 with LA. Nice. Rafael Robles. Got a Taylor over here. Dick Allen. Al Ferrara with San Diego. We got a New York guy here. Montreal. Got a lot of Montreals over here. Another Chicago. Bill Heath. And what do we got? Byron Brownie. Oh, man, that's an awesome name. Byron Brownie. Jill Carrito. We got a Houston guy over here. We got another Houston guy. We have a Bob Pretty over here. Joe Gibson with Pittsburgh. Rick Wise. I remember Rick Wise. Wasn't he with like Cleveland and maybe Boston? Oh, he's 24 years old. He's over here. Cal Coetzee, Moeller, and Steve Shea. All right, see, the National League does go a lot faster because I'm not sorting through anything American. We already did that. Darrell Cheney. Yeah, I remember him. Manny Sanguian. I was always a Manny Sanguian guy. Don't ask me why. I always like Manny Sanguian. Some of these guys I don't know much about. I need to get better with San Francisco because I bought the hat. Now batting, Manny Mota. Manny Mota. Remember that from that movie? St. Louis. Atlanta, Sonny Jackson. Jimmy Wynn. And there's Dusty Baker. I can always hear him saying that. 20 years old, he was with Atlanta. I can still hear Joe Garagiola. Now here's Dusty Baker. The good old days. What we wouldn't give to go back for a day. Back in the day, just kind of watch some baseball on TV or hockey on TV, huh? And hear our favorite announcers. Oh my! Remember that guy? Now it's all pretty generic, and it's all commercialized and whatever. Doug Rader with Houston. Scipio Spinks with Houston. We got a Gryffindorf. Al Jackson with Cincinnati. We got a Jack something or other over here. We got a Jim Bunning. Jerry Koosman, 27 years old with the Mets. Jerry Koosman. We got a Washburn over here. We have a Billingham over here. We got Cincinnati. We got San Francisco. Johnny Jeter with Pittsburgh. More San Diego. Some of these guys I'm not really familiar with. Santo. Lou Brock. Look at that. Run 7. Run 7. Stealing 6B. So we're going to be stealing with Lou Brock. We got some Houston here. Rick Wide was eventually traded for Steve Carlton. I did not know that. The other thing I will say about payoff pitch, and I've already mentioned it, so when we're talking about APA, Strat, and payoff pitch, which are probably my big three, season ticket is probably in there somewhere too. What's great about payoff pitch and season ticket is that they come with every guy. So when you get APA and Strat, you don't. APA, you get most of the guys. I think you get most of the guys. But season ticket and payoff pitch, you do get everyone, no matter what. And so depending on what you're doing, Boots Day is over here. Boots Day. Oh geez, he only had 7 at bats. Not many at bats at all, but he's in here. Again, that's the greatest thing about one of the great things about payoff pitch is that you get everyone. So if you're doing a replay and you want somebody, it's in the game. Floyd Wicker, the Wicker Man. Ken Run Rudolph, Dave Ricketts, Bob Aspromonte's over here with Atlanta, Jesus Lou. We have some guy named Lemons. We have Pedro Ramos, Reggie Cleveland. Yep. And Marone over here, Jerry Johnson, Ron Taylor, Gaylord Perry, 31 years old. Gaylord Perry, God bless him. Played 40 games in 69 at 31 years old, and he kept going. He kept on ticking a licking and keeps on ticking. That's another great guy. That's another reason I bought this one. I like to play some of those guys before they were left baseball. Bobby Valentine. Cesar Geronimo is with Houston. A lot of guys are on the Reds team, Joe Morgan and stuff like that, were in Houston. And that's kind of weird that so many guys went from Houston to Cincinnati. You got Richie Hebner here. He was 22. Look at the ages of some of these guys, will you? 20 years old. I got Duffy Dyer, 24. I got another San Francisco. Willie Smith, Chicago. Maxwell in St. Louis. Cleet Boyer. Is that Cletus? Cletus Boyer. San Diego, St. Louis, Cincinnati, Philadelphia, San Diego, San Francisco, L.A. Some of these guys are just kind of ripping through that I don't recognize. So that is that. Robert says he had to rebuy my payoff pitch since I had to move and take all my games with me. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, hopefully you'll get it in play. So that's a good thing. Gryffindor, is this the Harry Potter unboxing? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Miroslav says it's same as Apple Hockey. What does this say here? It's same as Apple Hockey and Hockey Bones. Apple results from the card table, Hockey Bones from the card. Yes, very similar. Yes, I would say that. I would say that. Phil Necro with Atlanta. Yeah, that's a good analogy. I really like that analogy. Oh, so we got we messed up here. So San Diego, San Francisco, and Chicago. Roberto Clements. Yeah, we know him. He's in this set. I got another San Diego guy here. Amos Otis, 22 years old. Amos Otis. Tito Fuentes would be with San Francisco. Don Clendenin. Is that how it says it? Clendenin. Bill Russell. Yeah, Bill Russell. Al Spangler over here. We have St. Louis. We have another guy over here from Atlanta. Mel Queen with Cincinnati. San Diego, we got a Ron Klein. We got a Larry Jaster over here. Bob Gibson. There we go. Look at that one. 35 games of Bob Gibson. And he's with St. Louis. Look at Vic Davilo's card. He can really draw a walk. What team was he? I kind of skipped over him real quick. And Robert says he knows a lot of the names I'm calling out. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Because a lot of these I don't know. But it's just kind of fun to go through them all. St. Louis. So, all right. Yeah. There we go. Vic Davila Loca. Right. 2 games. Yep. That's a great card. I'll have to get him in there somehow. What's the difference between tough and tough out? I believe, don't hold me to this because I haven't played it in a while, but a tough out is an automatic out. So If you, on a tough, you can still get some kind of a hit, usually a single. On a tough out, you go right to the out chart. You can't get a hit off a tough out, I believe. Like, here's a tough out. I'm pretty sure that on a tough out that you can't do anything. Well, let me do this. Hang on a sec. I will. We'll learn together. All right, we'll learn together. So here's my payoff pitch. So a tough out, similar to tough. When the percentile dice is greater than the strikeout range, ignore the other readings in the tough section and go immediately to the out section. In other words, the batter cannot get a hit on tough out. So if you don't strike him out, you go right to the out section. And that's kind of how that works. So yeah, so tough out is like automatic out. So if it's not a strikeout, it's some kind of out is what that is. And so I hope that helps. Let's see. Let's go back to Houston here with this. Oh, George Foster in San Francisco. Pretty cool. Ted Simmons in St. Louis. Tony Perez, 27 years old. Geno Stone. Walt Herniak. I got a Herniak just saying that name. Clendenin again. Dick Dietz. I got Bateman over here. And I'm going to get some Hundley from Chicago. I got a Kurt Flood. A Bryant. I got a Gary Ross from Chicago. I got a Mel Nelson. Frizella. George Culver. Bill Wilson. I think that's a Willie Wilson. Dave Roberts. There's a whole bunch of Dave Roberts in the league. It's not the Dave Roberts I'm thinking of. McMahon. Steve Renko over here. Riniak. I knew that. I was just testing you guys. Atlanta. Denny LeMaster over here in Houston. Chris Krug. That's a baseball name. That's a tough name. Oh, Chris Krug. I think I knew a wrestler named Chris Krug. Local guy. Cincinnati. Pittsburgh. There it is. Tom Seaver with New York. 25 years old. There we go. Mudcat Grant. Can't wait to get Mudcat Grant on the channel. That should be fun. Nelson Briles, Jim Ray, Charlie Smith, Ronnie Davis, San Diego, Ron Swoboda. Sounds like he plays for the Canadians, right? Oh boy, I screwed this up again. San Francisco. Bob Bailey with Montreal. Kessinger. Sounds like a politician. Tommy Davis over here with Houston. Dennis Ribbett. Steve McQueen. Mike Davidson. Jim Maloney. Then he played defense for the Rangers. And we have Dick Kelly, Ron Bryant, Bill Stoneman. Boy, I see a picture here. I'm going to face the Stoneman tonight. That's going to be awesome. He doesn't even need a nickname. That is like the nickname for him. Bernie Cabo at 22 with Cincinnati. Did not realize that. Chip Coulter over here. Ted Savage. That's another guy that does not need a nickname. Hermoso. Popovich. Nate Oliver and Bill White. All right, we're almost finished here. We only got another stack and a half. And they are going quicker now in the National. So, Woody Fryman with Philadelphia. DeLaro, Raymond, Bunning, Horner, Bobby Watkins with Houston. Oscar Brown, got Stinson with LA. Johnny Bench, 22 years old with Cincinnati. You know, Willie Stargell at 29. Yeah, looking forward to Willie Stargell. Jerry Morales. A couple other guys here. Jack Hyatt, LaFabe. I got some guy young here. Vita Pinson. Ah, look at that. Atlanta, 35 years old. Hank Aaron. Look at that. A home run versus a lefty in a wheelhouse. 1-84. Oh, my gosh. A wheelhouse is awesome. Even a patient is pretty good. And even on the tough, he can get doubles and singles on the tough. Looking forward to Hank Aaron, too. Bob Johnson over here. Grant Jackson. Tug McGraw was 25, playing for the Mets. Don Drysdale, 33. 33 years old, Don Drysdale. And then Mudcat Grant is also playing for St. Louis this season, so we have a couple of chances to see Mudcat Grant. And then San Francisco, got my hat on, got my Willie McCovey hat. San Francisco. Coco LaBoy. Jimmy Hall. I got a Jerry guy over here. I got a Mike Lum. I always remembered Mike Lum with Atlanta. He seemed like to play like 37 years with Atlanta. Because I had his baseball card every year, and I never knew who he was. Oh, boy. Marty Martinez. Ugh. 1 game, 0.1 inning pitch. 1 hit, 1 home run. Ugh. That's going to be tough playing him. He probably pitched to 1 batter, and they hit it out, and he's like, you're done. Clay Kirby was with San Diego. Mike McCormick. Wasn't he in the Brady Bunch? Al McBean over here. Milt Pappas. Manguel. Vaughn Joshua was 21 years old. Al Oliver over here in Pittsburgh. Jimmy Stewart over here. Tony Taylor. Ollie Brown. Bob Barton. Collins. Are you being treated fairly? Qualls. Gagliano. Didier. Joe Morgan with Houston. And San Diego. Dave Cash. Dave Cash. In Pittsburgh. Rick Joseph. Ed Cranepool over here. San Francisco. Montreal. Wes Parker with LA. Leron Lee. Is that like Leroy Jenkins? Pena, Cincinnati. Hill, Atlanta. Bob Moose. 22 years old with Pittsburgh. Billy McCool. He is really McCool. Shaw with Montreal. Sutton with LA. Torres, 23 with St. Louis. Houston got this guy. The Mets. And wow, I didn't realize Rose in 69 was 28 years old. That is kind of nuts. 28 years old in 69. He played for how many years? Sheepus, he was doing pretty well. Dave Marshall. Fairley again. We got another Fairley guy. Willis. Ernie Banks. I already went through my Ernie Banks story. I don't want to talk about that guy. Joe Torre was St. Louis. Right. There he is. Hector Torres over here with Houston. St. Louis. And I've got a few other guys here. Frank Lindsay. Montreal. Chicago. Atlanta. And this is it right here. This will wind it up. That little pile here is all I got left. And that will round out 69. And thank everybody for joining me tonight as we just kind of went through some cards. It's always fun to kind of look at everybody here. Barry Bonds, 23 years old with San Francisco. Got a lot of singles against a righty. Yeah, he's going to hit just about everything against a righty. So that'll be fun. There's my Rusty Staub. Love Rusty Staub. Don't know why. Just love Rusty Staub. And we're almost finished here. Bob Tillman. I keep saying I'm almost finished, but I still have a bunch of cards in my hand. Not a bad thing. I'd rather have cards in my hand than not enough cards in my hand, right? Mickelson. Fergie Jenkins. 27 years old, Fergie Jenkins for the Chicago Cubbies. Jarvis over here, Don Locke. He had 4 at-bats. Woody Woodward, the Woodster. Come over here, Freddie Patek with Pittsburgh before he went to Kansas City, I think. Kevin Collins, the linesman. We'll go on to linesman for the NHL. Torberg's over here. Popovich over here. Stevie over here. Philip Alou. We bid you Alou. There's Reniak again. Lee May. Matt Alou. This guy here. J.C. Martin. And who's going to be the last guy? Well, it's not going to be Manny Mota. Almost the last guy. The last guy will be. Oh, look at that! Oh, almost second to last guy. There's our two last guys. We have Felix Milan and Tim McCarver. So those are our two guys here. So Milan and McCarver, and that was that. Wow, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. A little unboxing here. I got to fix my camera. I don't know why this camera is doing this. It's not what it should be. It's very different. I'm kind of bummed about that. And I'm kind of bummed about my audio issue too. I got to go back and take that off and kill that. That was nuts, right? My how that audio was so bad. That was crazy. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Hopefully you had some fun here as we did some unboxing here. We have a good time doing some of that. Let me just kill this other one here. I need to get rid of that. Yeah, I'm about to delete that one video that was so bad. Yes, we'll see you. So anyway, but that is that. Hope you guys have a good one here. I got to go wash my hands. I kept licking my tongue too, so I'm hoping that, yeah, that's the only way to kind of get through some of these things. So, and Charles says he's looking forward to playing Rose in 72. Yep, that should be a good time there. So, yep, thanks for coming by. I'm going to go wash my hands. I'm going to kind of go through my cards and check it all here and make sure I have everything and everyone's in the right order. But, yeah, look for some more stuff here on the channel. We should be having some fun. I got one more big unboxing coming up, and I'm hoping to get to that either tomorrow. Well, probably not Tuesday. Tuesday's a busy day, but I want to wait to unbox that because I want to do a real good unboxing with this one here, and then I want to start playing that game that I have in the box over here. And I won't get to that this week because of work, but then after that, I get time to play. So we're going to be playing some new games. We're going to be playing some Apple football. We're going to be playing some payoff pitch. I need to kind of finish up my baseball products I got it going on. So a lot of things I want to catch up with here, and a lot of things I want to start. So anyway, I'm Dave. Thanks for tuning in. I want to thank everybody for coming by tonight and putting up with the audio and the video problems here. I don't know. I don't know why it changes how it looks, but it changed how it looks. So I'm Dave. You guys have a good night. Hopefully your football or hockey team did well today. Bye-bye.